I've always been a Star Wars fan, even if I lost a bit of interest through the years. I loved all of the movies, and so I thought it might be cool to come back to the movies I loved so much. Yeah, this is just a prequel ranking, but I'll be putting out the original trilogy ranking and the sequel ranking soon. Now, let's get into it. A short summary of The Phantom Menace would be Darth Vader gets into a race, and then a red guy kills Liam Neeson, then gets cut in half. Most of the actual plot is in the last 30 minutes. Sure, they pick up Anakin, freeing him from slavery, but did that really have to take up the first hour and a half? The pod race alone takes about 20 minutes, plus Qui-Gon's betting with Watto. And when Anakin wins this, there are some great celebrations from Anakin's friends. Yay! Yippee! Are the two words I heard when he finished. Seriously? Just a normal cheering would have been fine. Oh well, I'm getting way too deep into this. At least it's not as bad as the scene with the Senate. Boring acting, bad dialogue, but at least there were ETs in the background. I didn't know how long I could go without addressing the elephant with a long tongue in the room. If he is meant to be comic relief, it's not a relief to see him at all. He's incredibly annoying and definitely should not have been a general, unless, of course, he hypnotized Boss Nass with his dark Sith powers. That's right, I'm on to you, Darth Jar Jar. At least he had any emotion or expression, unlike almost any other character in the movie. The one scene that saves this movie from being horrible is the Duel of the Fates. The choreography is pretty great, and there's plenty of emotion. Darth Maul is also a pretty cool character, and if only there were more of him in the movies. Yoda also has his second best line in this movie. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Probably the most meh Star Wars movie. 5 out of 10. There has been an order established with the prequels that almost anyone agrees with, and yeah, that includes me. Attack of the Clones is definitely the worst of the prequels. Nearly everything in this movie sucks or is just okay. The only exception to that is Anakin and Obi-Wan's chemistry, but they don't share enough scenes together for it to make a difference. They spend probably 30 minutes of the 2-hour runtime together. I guess Anakin had to fall in love with Padme, but when his best line is, "I don't like sand," it does not work. They share probably a single good scene together. They also show the younglings. They really just wanted to set up that one scene. There are a few funny quotes, like when Obi-Wan says Anakin will be the death of him, or when Obi-Wan tells someone to go rethink their life. Those are both in the first 30 minutes of the movie, though, and are both said by Obi-Wan. The movie really just gets worse as time goes on. The lightsaber fight at the end between Anakin and Dooku sucks, the flying over those dunes at the end suck, and the CGI is horrible, almost to the point where the original trilogy could put it to shame. The biggest problem for me is that it's way too long and way too boring. Definitely not a good movie in the slightest. A 3 out of 10. This is definitely the best of the prequels. The only one that is actually good. Congratulations, George Lucas! You managed to make one more good Star Wars film. Yay! Yippee! But seriously, this one is really good. It contains one of the best lightsaber fights in all of Star Wars and has one of the best lines. Of course, it also has some of the worst things about Star Wars. The horrible dialogue that dominated the prequels, and of course, those awful romance scenes. No, it's because I'm so in love with you. Blech! It makes me cringe in pain when I hear this. One more problem I had with this is that Grievous is just a plot device designed to keep Kenobi away from Anakin. All he is in this is just a cool robot guy. The first scene with the flying is much more impressive than in the previous movie, and I really love the way that Anakin and Obi-Wan bounce off of each other. And that's probably the one thing that is great in both Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. The fight between Jedi and Sidious kinda sucks, but it makes up for it by having all the rest of the movie be pretty great. The Battle of the Heroes is amazing, and it's really a heartbreaking scene. This movie is pretty good. 7 out of 10. So, overall, the prequels balanced out at about 5 out of 10. Thanks for watching.